And I say maybe. Hey student, how can grammar help me improve my English speaking? Well, watch this lesson to find out. Hey there, I'm Teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Yes, because every week I post different kinds of English lessons to help you become a better and more confident English speaker. So consider subscribing and smash that like button because it helps the channel. Now let me just fix my camera. Okay, fixed camera. Okay. Let's talk about grammar. More specifically, how can grammar help you improve your English speaking? Because it can. Okay, guys, here on my channel, I help students at a pre-intermediate or intermediate level. The lesson is 100% in English, and I like to call this level the transition level because here you are beginning to speak a little more, you're trying to speak a little more, and you make a lot of mistakes. Completely natural, okay? What is happening in your mind? You had a lot of lessons, a lot of vocabulary, now you're learning more complicated things. So your brain is trying to put the pieces together so that you can make phrases and speak. Use the words you learn, the expressions you learn. And to help you in this process so that your brain is like, oh, okay, I have to do this. Oh, okay. To help you in this process, grammar can be an amazing helper, okay, an ally. It all comes down to the way you study grammar. That being said, well, before I move on to the first idea, this is something that I do with my students. I'm always trying to help my BSA in my academy to use the grammar they study. And at this level, you will review a lot of the grammar points you were studying when you were a beginner. The only difference is that the focus is on communication, really conversation. And I'm going to give you some ideas. Now, how can grammar help you? The most common thing I think the most beneficial thing grammar can do to you is to help you fix persistent mistakes. Yes. And when I say persistent mistakes, I'm talking about those mistakes you constantly make, okay? So for example, conjugations, in the present when you're using he, she, it, in the past when you're using the past simple, right? Regular, irregular verbs, with present perfect when you're using the participle, asking questions, these are grammar points. So these are persistent mistakes. You need to use more grammar to fix them. And when I say grammar, I'm not talking about, I don't have a grammar book here. I'm not talking about simply getting a grammar book and doing all the grammar exercises. No, you can if you want to. But my recommendation does not focus on that. Okay, you can use a grammar book, you can study the lesson, you can do some grammar exercises, but they are not the key to helping you fix persistent mistakes. It's how you use the grammar, because when you do the grammar exercise, they are trying to teach you a pattern, a repetition pattern. So they repeat some phrases, hoping you will memorize that. And that is not really efficient because in the grammar exercises from books, they make some questions, give some phrases that are completely disconnected with your life. As a result, you go on autopilot, you answer the questions correctly, but when it's time to use them, you can't because there was one important element missing, connection with your life. So that's not my recommendation, okay? So if you want to correct persistent mistakes that you make in a conversation and they confuse the listener, these mistakes confuse people, the people listening to you, whether it is your boss or a native speaker or a non-native speaker listening to you. So it is important to use grammar in your favor. So here, for example, as you can see on the screen, there's a screenshot of a lesson that I give my babies inside the academy. I think it's in module 5. Module 5, yes. And this is a sentence order. And in this lesson, the babies make a lot of mistakes. They are learning and they are correcting, and I'm teaching them a common conversation mistake, and it's a grammar lesson. And students, when they are having a conversation, they confuse the position of words in a phrase. So in Module 1, for example, inside the Academy, I show my students the different kinds of words, the most important words, not all of them, but important words. Then in Module 5, I go back and I show the order, the sequence. There is a sequence. When I'm teaching simple present and simple past, I show them a sequence. And if you confuse the sequence, people will not understand you so well. This is a speaking mistake connected with English grammar, okay? And here, guys, what are you going to do? What is something you can do? This is something that I do with my babies, okay? They have the lesson. But after they watch this lesson, for example, they have to post examples to me. But these examples are connected with their lives. If there's no connection with your life, you will forget, okay? Your brain will be like, oh, no thanks, it's not important. So it is necessary to connect this lesson with an important memory, a life event, something that is happening to you or happened to you. So this will help you fix the persistent mistakes you make, okay? So for example, you will watch a grammar lesson. This grammar lesson needs to be focused with a persistent mistake, a mistake that you make very frequently, okay? So choose. Maybe you forget simple past very often, or maybe you confuse comparatives, okay? Or maybe you confuse the articles, the, a, and. You confuse them too much, or maybe the plural. You name it, okay? Maybe that's something you confuse, or maybe you confuse the connectors, although, even though, whereas, hence. You confuse these guys. Okay, you will watch a lesson. Watch a grammar lesson or read a grammar lesson. No problems. You can do that. That's important. Review the rules, the explanations. Okay. But after that, some students will go to the grammar exercises from books. You can do them. But as I'm saying, they are not key. What I want you to do next is I'm going to create some examples connected with my life. So this is something, guys, that here you are connecting grammar and writing. And there is more, there is a little more, okay, that I'm going to recommend. And this is a good way for you to use grammar to help your English speaking. But teacher, what if I continue making mistakes? Well, congratulations, you're human. Mistakes will keep happening. That's why we are constantly reviewing and including new activities and bringing new context so that we can study and review. And when you get to a more super duper duper advanced level, you will still need to go back to very basic lessons. I do that all the time. It's part of the journey. We have to accept that. So write your examples down. Write short stories. I remember, I'll never forget this BSA. She loved writing children's stories. So I told her, hey, connect the grammar lesson and the vocabulary lesson in the academy to describe a short story, a children's story that you like so much. And then she started doing that. She started writing children's stories using the grammar lessons she was studying, using the vocabulary she was studying. Not always children's stories, but she used her imagination to write stories, which was something she enjoyed doing. It was part of her life to write creative stories by using her imagination, okay? Now, before I give you a second idea of how grammar can help you improve your English speaking, make sure to smash that like button and share. If you have already subscribed, if you have already liked, share this lesson with a friend. It really helps. I know I repeat this a lot, but it's part of my business, you know. It really helps because when I bring these reminders, people subscribe. So yay. And if you need organization, if you don't know how to study English, if you're completely lost, this is not my academy, but it is an excellent product. It is an excellent product you can have access to. My 21-day study plan cycle. It is gonna help you organize your study routine so that you learn how to organize your practice. Very important. And my listening mastery workshop that is going to help you better understand native and non-native speakers anywhere, anytime. So check the links in the descriptions, but now let's go. Connect grammar with writing and speaking. I already mentioned writing, but now I want to connect writing to speaking because you want to improve your English speaking. And to improve your English speaking, we need to combine different skills. And I always come here on my channel talking about that. How to connect the English skills so that you can unlock your English speaking, so that you can go from stuck to speaking in 6 months or as fast as you can. Okay, it all comes down to your dedication and consistency. But to do this practice, you need to understand, to think of your most common mistakes in spoken language. What are your most common mistakes? Conjugations. You forget the past, present, future doesn't have much of a conjugation, but you forget the tenses. They're confusing to you. Or teacher, the organization of words. I confuse organization of words. That's grammar, okay? That's not just speaking. No, that's grammar. So you confuse the sentences, the order of the sentences, where the pronouns go, the verbs, the adverbs, the connectors. How do I connect the ideas? Teacher, this is confusing to me. So you're going to pick one. And I recommend you follow this practice this week. Test. See for yourself, okay? So you're going to pick one. Then you're going to stimulate your brain by using the grammar and writing to help you speak more correctly. So I prepared a short step-by-step, okay? And one thing that I wanted to see here, and I wanted to remember, I want you to rub your hands right now. Why do I always ask people to rub their hands? Because I'm sending a physical stimulation, okay? Physical stimulation to help you remember something, okay? To use this as an anchor. Writing is preparation. Speaking is action. Writing is preparation. Speaking is action. I hope you rub your hands too whenever you watch this video. Anyway, so what are you going to do? Step by step, you're going to review a grammar point. You're going to pick a subject, okay? A grammar point, comparative, superlatives, articles, let's see, objects, position of words, you name it. And you can use a grammar book to give you a reference. No problems, it's okay. Then you're going to pick a conversation subject, nature, technology, different kinds of watches, clothes, you know, things that you wear, outfits, fashion, your career, you know, maybe you're a doctor, so you can pick a subject in your field. You're going to pick a conversation subject. So you will watch the lesson or read the grammar lesson. It's okay. Then you will pick the conversation subject. And what are you going to do? You're going to write about it, okay? And I already talked about this here on my channel. If you don't have someone to talk to you, it's okay. You will prepare questions for you to answer. There are many websites where you can find questions in English for you to answer, okay? So let's say you picked the subject fashion, because today I'm feeling fashionable today. You will go on the internet and you will find conversation subjects, conversation questions about fashion. And you will pick one, you will write. And while you write, you will focus on the grammar point you chose, comparatives, superlatives, order of sentences, paying attention to the order, asking questions. Maybe you need to improve your question asking ability. So you will write about fashion, if it's the subject you chose, and you will keep in mind the grammar point you chose. Oh, the articles. Oh, I need to think of using the articles here. I need to include them. Wrote down a beautiful answer about fashion. Awesome. Close the notebook. That was writing. That was preparation. Now it's time for action. Speaking. You will answer the same question you prepared that you were answering. But now you will speak. And while you do so, you will record yourself. And after you finish, you will listen to your recording and pay attention to the grammar point you used. Did I use the articles? or not? Did I use comparatives? Short, long? Did I confuse? Did I say more easier? More happier? Okay? Pay attention. There are some mistakes that I know you can identify in your practice because this is practice. But speaking is action. And here, don't look at your notes. You need to speak by using your brain. That's why you prepared first. You were practicing. Okay? And as I recommended here on my channel before, I made this recommendation, I will recommend again. When you're writing, first, you will write by hand, okay? Use your hand to take notes, to write down. Finished. Wonderful. Now you will type this information and if possible, use the extension on Google Chrome called Grammarly, okay? I always recommend Grammarly. I don't make any money recommending Grammarly, okay? I use the free version of Grammarly because Grammarly is paid. You pay for Grammarly, okay? But you can use the free version of Grammarly. I use the free version. I don't pay for Grammarly. I use the free version. And then you will type your answer on Grammarly on the website or in the app. And Grammarly will make some observations. It is not perfect. They will make some observations, some corrections, and that way you can see some of your mistakes. Again, it's not perfect, it's not 100%, it's not totally free, but it's very helpful. I have been using Grammarly for many years, many. So it is a great ally to help you correct some mistakes in your writing. And as a result, you will pay attention when you're speaking, okay? Now, guys, at the end of the day, there's no easy way. You will need to sit down and focus, but use grammar wisely with the intention of speaking, not just with the intention of finishing grammar exercises. I don't give grammar exercises to my babies. I make them create phrases to me connected with their lives. That's grammar in action, okay? That's how you improve and condition your brain to remember the information you studied. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Check out the links in the description of this video. But other than that, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.